Hello friends, back with a bunch of, well, these I think are all blind buys actually. So back with a bunch of blind buys, and I'll be letting you know how I got on with these. To be honest, this is a haul that you probably won't have seen any of these in my what I wore last week or in other hauls, which generally is a sign that they're not things that I liked very much. So I warn you now, there's probably there's possibly only one keeper in this batch, so it might be a little bit of a harsh one because a lot of these I think might be blind buy fails. A couple of them not absolute fails, they're just not nice enough to keep in my collection, but anyway. I'm going to start with this one. I think this one's been around for a little while, and it just so happens I needed to spend a certain amount of money to get free postage. That's the only reason I got this one. I literally got it to talk about on the channel because I hadn't tested it before. So it came in a pack with a body lotion, and then it was a whole thing anyway. So I've just taken it out of all of that because it's a big mess. But this is Blue Seduction from Antonio Banderas. So this is just a little one. I think sometimes these have pink lids. I don't know if that's changed, but I also don't know whether you can actually really see the name of this, Blue Seduction. Weirdly, it's on this side rather than what I think is probably the front, which is this. It looks so teeny tiny here, doesn't it? Anyway, Blue Seduction by Antonio Banderas. So this came out in 2008, so it's been around forever. Let's have a look at the notes. So the top notes: melon, bergamot, pear and violet leaf. Middle notes of peony, jasmine, lily of the valley, gardenia and Bulgarian rose. Base notes of raspberry, patchouli, musk and benzoin. So the top comparison here, well, are the other ones in this range, to be honest, but also it's been compared to Guess Seductive Blue. Personally, I find Guess Seductive Blue is a better overall perfume than this. I think it's stronger, I think it lasts longer, and I think it's less masculine leaning than this one. So the thing with this is it's definitely got a prettiness to it. It's in the realm of something like Light Blue to me from Dolce & Gabbana. It's that kind of thing, but without whatever it is in that goes a bit screechy on me. And this doesn't have a tarry smell to it, but that patchouli, like there is a real wood and patchouli smell here. It doesn't list wood, but it smells like there's wood. And this smells unisex leaning masculine, in my humble opinion. So I do actually think it's kind of nice. I think that the raspberry does come out in the base a little bit, and you get this lovely juicy sweetness without turning syrupy. This smells fresh, it smells aquatic. You get that kind of melony aquatic feel that you get in a lot of kind of late 90s perfumes. So that was very trendy to have like an aquatic melony feel. But yeah, this one definitely has something in it that I think smells like a masculine aquatic cologne. So it just doesn't suit me. I can't wear these kind of perfumes. If I think it smells at all masculine, I just can't. I just don't like wearing it. It feels like I'm wearing my husband's scent. So I don't love this one, but I can at the same time understand why other people like it. But yeah, so that's Blue Seduction from Antonio Banderas. It's got this cool kind of bottle bit underneath. I think you can tell this is supposed to be like a freshie and aquatic, you know. This next one was a crashing disappointment because I do normally love 4711 Acqua Colonias. It's quite hard to get hold of the new releases, so when I saw Yuzu and Cedarwood, which I don't know if that's from this year or last, I think it might be last year, I was quite excited to smell it. Cedarwood isn't normally my favourite, but I was hoping it would be done in a really nice natural way, and I do love yuzu, and I just wanted to smell this. To be honest, if I get a 4711 that I find is too masculine, I just often give it to my husband, if it's one that I like enough anyway. But this kind of broke my heart, guys. So this is an eau de cologne, a 50ml bottle. Just a little bit of a heartbreaker. Very smart bottle, as all of the Acqua Colonias are. Beautiful bottle, in fact. So I do get a sharp yuzu and yuzu skin in this. There is the oily smell, there's the bitter skin smell. But more than anything, there's just a smell of like tar. Now, this does not smell like cedarwood to me. It smells like burning wood and burning rubber, because it has that horrible aroma chemical in that drives me up the wall, that is increasingly showing up in perfumes. I don't think I've ever smelt this aroma chemical in a 4711 Acqua Colonia before. I might have smelt it in one of the more recent ones, but generally speaking, and why I have such a big collection of these perfumes, I don't normally get like really hideous aroma chemicals. Oh no, it was the Freesia and Musk has this really screechy aroma chemical in it that feels like a needle in the eye, the kind of stuff I get in Lancome perfumes. But no, this doesn't smell like cedar to me. The yuzu is very sharp. It smells extremely masculine, but also very chemically to me, which is not what I expect from an Acqua Colonia, because they're normally just so lovely. I feel like, unfortunately, as time has gone on, the releases have just become a little bit more chemically smelling and a little bit more like general designer perfumey scents, rather than the more natural feel I used to get from them. So maybe my time with buying new Acqua Colonias is over, guys, because this was £25 to get hold of this, so it's not as cheap as it used to be either. So I was very sad about this one, but yeah, that's not for me. So that's Yuzu and Cedarwood from Acqua Colonia by 4711. Next up, we have a Jeanne Arthes perfume. So I got two from this Sweet 16 range from Jeanne Arthes. So this is Sweet 16 Yellow. The other one I got was Coral, because that has a lovely watermelon note in it. So I was pretty chuffed with that one. This one I got because it has a melon note in rather than watermelon. I thought it looked kind of nice. This is also not on Fragrantica. I have put it on the forum and asked them to add it, but it's still not there. I don't know if they're ever going to add it, but it has the notes on the side of the box, because Jeanne Arthes sometimes does that, and I love that about them. The Arthes group also run Jeanne en Provence, and they tend to put their notes on as well. So look at this bottle. Oh, it's kind of cute though, right? Big chunky. There it is. It's Eau de Parfum. It's got this heart painted on the back. So this one, unfortunately, this is another one that has one of the aroma chemicals in that I find just so screechy, which is a shame, because I can sense that the perfume underneath and hiding behind the aroma chemical is pretty yummy. So Sweet 16 Yellow. The top notes are pear, peach, melon and blackcurrant. The heart notes are lily of the valley, freesia and water jasmine. Base notes, musk, sandalwood and whitewood. I think this either has a very screechy musk in it, or it just generally has an aroma chemical that's just bothering me. But I can smell the pear and the melon. I definitely can, and they're really, really pretty in this actually. The woods, the sandalwood, the whitewood, the florals, they're all pretty good here, I'd say. But yeah, there's just something here that is really a bit too screechy for me. It's one of the aroma chemicals I suspect, or one of the musks that's going to give me a headache. Definitely more like a white musk, you know, rather than like a golden musk. But actually, to be honest, I can smell pear, peach and melon very clearly. I'm not necessarily getting tons of blackcurrant, but I do think this is a really pretty fruity floral. It's just one, unfortunately, that has something in it that is stopping me from being able to wear it. But it's fun, it's fresh, it's less syrupy than its sister, the coral version. But yeah, so I actually think this is kind of pretty. It's just not for me. But yeah, Yellow Sweet 16 from Jeanne Arthes in this rather funky bottle. Not a keeper for me, but kind of cute anyway. And if you're not bothered by the aroma chemicals I find screechy, then you might like that one. Alright, next up. This is always funny when I get one that's like, tester, not for sale, and I've obviously bought it. And bought it from a proper retailer, so they do get sold. So I've had a woman's secret before, but I've been looking at this green one for ages. Unfortunately, it comes without a lid, so I'm going to have to try and find a round lid, because it will break my heart, because I really like this bottle. I don't like this thing on it though, but I'll probably take that off. So this is Woman's Secret. I think these bottles are so cute. And this one is called Oh It's Fresh. Is it Oh It's Fresh or Oh So Fresh? Yeah, Oh It's Fresh from Woman's Secret. The notes are top notes of lemon, bergamot, green notes, sweet orange and ginger. Mid notes of jasmine, orange blossom, rose, apple, freesia and red fruits. Base notes musk, violet, sandalwood, sea notes and amber. So if you are hearing those notes and thinking, sounds a little bit like something similar to Acqua di Gioia, you would be right, because that's kind of what this smells like. But I have to say, I think this might be my favourite version, because the current Acqua di Gioia just fully smells like chemicals to me. I don't get anything else from it. I think it's really nasty. The old version I still found a bit difficult to wear, but it had more of an actual scent to it. It didn't smell so chemically. So the one in the square bottle that's now in a round bottle, I have the La Rive dupe of that, which I think is probably the closest to what it used to smell like. That one has quite a strong woody base that goes maybe a tiny bit tarry for me, but not as far as the actual perfume. I also had Balcon de Mediterrane from Jeanne Arthes, and that one was kind of like a more juicy, almost like a bit more peachy or something version of it, but was also very similar, and I think that one's amazing. I found both of them quite hard to wear because they were both quite salty. But this one, it definitely still has salt, but there's something about this one, it might actually be it's a bit lighter than the other two I just mentioned and the original. This one I find a little bit easier to wear. I think it's really pretty. I have a feeling that because it's got the apple and red fruits and there are a few extra florals here, it just changes that Acqua di Gioia general scent profile just enough to make it a bit more wearable for me. So I think this one's pretty. I really think it's really cute. It's definitely like a citrusy floral. Maybe it's the violet that I'm kind of digging a little bit in the base here. But yeah, there's almost something, and possibly those red fruits are making this ever so slightly sweeter than the original. But I think this is a lovely freshie. I think it's a really cute bottle. If you can still get hold of this, it normally has a little cute round lid. Then I think that this, It's Fresh, is really, really pretty. It's a really nice alternative. As I said, it doesn't last the longest, but I think this is a really nice summer freshie. So I'm going to try and find a little round lid to put on this and hope that I can get along with it long term, because I do think it's very pretty. So next up we have one that definitely didn't work out for me. I have actually had this in a box, I reckon I might have had this for almost 3 years at this point. It's been in my box where I keep all the things I need to review, and I just kept forgetting this one. So this is from Oriflame. This is called Friend's World for Her, and it's Tropical Sorbet. I don't know if you can still get this anymore, but honestly, you're not missing out on anything. So I do kind of like the fact it's got a green sprayer tube. That's really cool. But in terms of perfumes, this is just so many. It's got basically all of the aroma chemicals that I don't like all in one perfume, which is almost kind of impressive, to be honest, to manage that. So the notes here, apparently, are top notes of guava, rhubarb and lemon, mid notes of pomegranate, rose and lily of the valley, and then base notes of cedar, musk and amber. And it smells screechy and eye piercing, and it also has a tarry dry down, so it smells like burning rubber, burning wood, and some kind of piercingly sharp alcohol perfume smell. Not for me. I only got this because it was compared to In Love Again by YSL, Herbe from L'Occitane, which are two perfumes I really like, and Escada Ibiza Hippie, which is a perfume that I really used to like when I was young and I haven't smelled for a long time, so I thought it'd be fun to smell. You sort of get the guava and the rhubarb, you sort of get some rose, but it's just so chemically and screechy and nasty. This is not, I mean, other people might not be able to smell those chemicals the way that I can, but this just didn't work out for me at all. So a nice quick one, because that's not staying with me. And now it's time to be a negative Nancy again. This is one that I only would have ever got this tiny little thing to try. So this is Tiffany and Co Intense. This is just a little, a dabber bottle that I got for cheap from Direct Cosmetics. I saw someone talking about this on YouTube and I was very silly, and I decided that I could trust other people's noses, which is often not a good thing for me because, like I said, I'm so sensitive to some of the popular aroma chemicals, and I think so many people on YouTube talking about perfumes are not at all sensitive to the things that I am. So that's why it's such a risk. Like, blind buying things because I really want to smell them myself is one thing. Blind buying things because someone else has recommended them, like, oof. This Tiffany and Co is another one that I think is just a bit nasty. It's so screechy. It has really screechy aroma chemicals in this. So this is pink pepper, pear, mandarin leaf in the top, mid notes of iris, jasmine and rose, musk, benzoin, vanilla, cashmere, amber and carrot in the base. But it's horribly screechy. It's the same thing that's in that last one. It's whatever that is. Like I said, I get it in all the Lancome perfumes, and actually the next one that I'm going to show you, I get it in all of these perfumes as well. What's this? Estee Lauder. So in all of the Estee Lauder perfumes as well. It's just the same aroma chemical. It's a shame because I feel like underneath that aroma chemical there is something kind of sweet and interesting here, but for me, I'm not really getting... I can sense there's something fruity, I can sense there's some iris. I think I might be smelling some of that weird carrot in the base, but it's just so... I mean, it smells like something I could clean my toilet with, that's the thing, like... So yeah, I just can't. So that's Tiffany and Co Intense. And that is definitely not one for me. It's just so chemically to me. I'm going to be very unpopular with people by the end of this video, aren't I? Alright, so another one, thankfully, I just got a tiny mini of. This was recommended to me, I think. I had seen someone talk about this on YouTube, but I also was recommended it in my own channel, in one of my videos. This is Tender Light from Estee Lauder. This is their fancy collection, whatever that collection is called. And this is just a tiny 4ml. But what's nice about these is, although they're 4ml, they're sprayers. So you can spray it out, which I think is really good. If you see a little spray, so tiny. I'm just going to bring this one over here actually because it is so small. So Tender Light by Estee Lauder. This was recommended because I really like tea perfume. So this has apparently Chinese tea in the top, bergamot in the mid, and Tuscan iris in the base. There is something extremely green in here that gives me like a petitgrain kind of feel. There's also a sweetness that's kind of unexplained here. I'm getting some tea, I'm getting some iris, I'm definitely getting the bergamot including the oil and the skin. But again, there is just that Estee Lauder needle in the eye piercing quality that, you know, again, it's some kind of aroma chemical. It's definitely like a part of this whole house. Everything that I have tried from them is kind of like a headache in a bottle to me. But this is one of those that I think would be really pretty if it didn't have that. Like, I can actually smell what this one smells like. I can, in fact, the more it dries down, the more I am getting that kind of creamy, body lotiony, soapy smell that I get from orange blossom, petitgrain, and, you know, orange flower, that kind of thing. Neroli. Yeah, it actually smells a bit like there might be neroli or something in here, but this is, I think, of all the Estee Lauders I've smelt, this is probably the one that I like the best, but I still couldn't wear it. Well, I tried wearing it and it was a mistake. It was just headachy to me. So there's just something in the DNA of this house that I can't deal with, but this is the nicest thing that I've come across from them at the same time. So yeah, it's not for me, but it is pretty. But it definitely makes me feel like this is like a classic orange blossom neroli kind of smell. And I have so many perfumes like that, and so many perfumes like that are available, that spending this kind of money, I don't know whether it's really worth it. But it's kind of cute though. So that's Tender Light from Estee Lauder. So let's finish with something that's so random. I got this, again, maybe a couple of years ago from Makeup UK. This is not on Fragrantica, but it's still available on Makeup UK. It's really popular. It's got 5 out of 5 stars on the reviews. It's £11.56 for a 50ml of parfum. This is Allvernum, Cherry Blossom and Musk. So I just thought it sounded kind of nice. Luckily the notes are on the back, so I'll be able to read them to you. So this is the bottle. Cherry Blossom and Musk. And this has notes of pear, strawberry, tangerine in the top, cherry blossom, jasmine and rose in the mid, and then musk in the base. This, I would say, is definitely, again, it's a white musk. This, unfortunately for me, also has something a bit piercing and screechy in it, but as you can see from like how well reviewed this is on the actual site, most people aren't getting that. I would say if it didn't have that, this would be a very pleasant fruity floral musk. It kind of reminds me of some of the gentle fruity floral musk that you'll get from like Avon, things like that. I wonder if this is maybe like a different country's equivalent of Avon, I don't know, but I feel like I'm getting just as much jasmine and rose as I am cherry blossom. I don't think this particularly smells like cherry blossom to me, but again, that might be the aroma chemical. And it's generally fruity. It does kind of smell a bit pink, I'd say. It's not one that I dislike, but it's not one that I love. It's not one that I particularly wanted to wear, but I do think it's pretty. It may not suit me, but I think there's a lot of people who'd really enjoy this perfume. So that is Allvernum, Cherry Blossom and Musk. And that's it, guys. I think I've only got one keeper from this batch, so this is a really good tale for why blind buying is so risky. I'd say there's maybe 60, 70 quid's worth of stuff here that I need to get rid of, but I mean that's quite a lot of stuff, to be fair, and I did get these many years ago, so you know, you take a chance, but it was fun to review them on the channel anyway. I'm really sorry if I've insulted anything that people really love. This is just my nose, this is just how I react to the specific aroma chemicals that are in some of these perfumes. And yeah, I hope my fan noises weren't too annoying, guys. It's pretty hot when I'm doing this today, so I just had to have a fan on the whole time. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've tried any of these, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye guys.